First thing I do to get to the kind of stuff that you're going to be working on is over here, there's these input buttons. These input buttons, and you want to make sure you are on the second page of inputs, which is 17 through 32. So right now 1 through 16 gives you like all of the instruments that the band will have for student worship. 17 through 32 is the other page of other page of channels, and you turn that, and that gives you all the microphones. It's going to give you control of the computer, also of the of iPod and music and things like that. So really, you guys are just going to live on this page.
Because that will give us the videos and it will
It'll
give us everything.
Everything y'all need, everything and nothing that you don't need. So
Okay.
so kind of make sure you're on the second page, and this will give you everything you make sure. So if you see all this stuff and it says like Electric 2 and keyboard and bass, you're on the wrong page. So you need to click on inputs, and they'll go to channels 17 through 32, and that's what changes to the other page of things that are on this board. So once you see this, you're on the right page, and then just some other things to set up for setup. There's a couple extra sub kind of master volume control faders is what they're called, kind of other faders to control everything. So you have the vocalist, you see like the microphone icon there. So for all your microphones, instead of having to control like maybe a separate all 4 of these or something like that, you can just control one fader and it controls all of those. So
Got it.
if for some reason you have everything turned on and you're not hearing anything coming out of the microphone, this is going to be one of the faders to check, to make sure that it's turned up it's turned up and not muted or anything like that. And program is going to be the other one. And program is what's going to control the computer and iPod and those things. So the vocalist or microphone will control this kind of 4 channels, and the program one will control this kind of section of those channels. So those are just some troubleshooting things. If for some reason you're not getting audio coming out of the computer or music coming out, make sure that one of these is checked. That the corresponding one is turned up and not muted. There's some mute buttons here as well at the top of each channel. So if it's lit up like that, that means it's going to be muted. You're not going to hear anything. So make sure it's unmuted. Make sure it's unmuted here as well. Make sure each channel will have its own mute button. That's that. And then this big guy right here, kind of who's on his own. This is like the main fader that controls the entire board. So there's like a big giant Grandmaster fader guy, so that you can always just bring that up to 0 down the board. It's labeled all these different numbers labeled to 0. You can bring that guy up there, and also you can do the same thing with these. You can bring these up to 0 and kind of just leave those there as a standard thing, and then you're only controlling these over here. So once that's done, once these are up and things like that, then you can start testing your microphones and make sure they're working properly. So handheld 1 is going to go straight with the handheld 1 channel here. Okay. It's got an on switch right that up, and you see the lights turn on. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds for it to turn on. So if you're handing a microphone to someone and they're turning on, they're going to flip it on and start to try talking, and it's not going to work. So it's got to take about 4 seconds for it to turn on and read and connect and everything like that. So from here, you can see it's getting a signal. It'll tell you exactly where you're getting the signal from on the board. So as I turn it up, check. So then it sits behind your ear. So for your speakers who don't know,
Okay.
it just kind of sits just like that.
Okay. And then you hook it up just
Yeah,
to
exactly.
the back.
Yep.
Stick it in your pocket.
And if you
If you
want,
want them, they could feed the. If you want them to feed the wire down.
Now with this particular one, you don't want to do a whole lot of bending of the actual mic part.